Even the most icy of hearts can be warmed or broken by the right movie at the right time. However, there are some that are superior to others. One of the best things about dog movies is the versatility, as well as how quickly viewers become attached to these cute animals, despite the fact that they may be destructive. Because there are so many movies about dogs, this particular method of telling a story ought to be considered its own subgenre. Movies about canines are not only entertaining, but they are also appropriate for viewers of any age to enjoy watching and appreciating. These are 10 best movies on dogs that we never forget. However, before we start our countdown, we would appreciate it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel and also press the bell icon. Let's get started. 10 Bolt. This film is a must-watch and is easily one of the many fantastic Disney films all about pooches. It stars a dog who acts as a superhero and an owner who would do anything for her dog. The story follows Bolt, a famous canine actor who deludes himself into believing he possesses actual supernatural abilities. As a result of an error that occurred during shipping, Bolt finds that his purported abilities are put to the test, and he is forced to travel through regions that he never imagined he would visit. This heartwarming movie is not about the love shared between a pet and its owner. Rather, it focuses on the life of a charismatic dog and brings with it unending laughter, a few tears, and an experience that will stick with you forever. 9 Togo. Because it is one of the more recent films about dogs to be released in the film industry, many people had some reservations about how the plot would develop or how well the movie would be received. The good news is that this movie has conquered the world. It features outstanding performances from its cast, a truly charming plot, and a rather tragic backstory to frame the whole thing. Willem Dafoe has a beautiful relationship with the lovable Togo, and the two of them together bring this wonderful story to life by making their connection the focal point of the narrative. It's one of those movies about dogs that fans should watch at least once in their lifetimes. 8 Isle of Dogs. Isle of Dogs, like to the majority of films directed by Wes Anderson, offers a very intriguing and at the same time somewhat obscure take on the classic style of dog movies that a lot of people have come to know and enjoy. It's a stop motion that looks an awful lot like the animation from Fantastic Mr. Fox, which is saying something. Only this time, it has a whole island full of canine companions to play with. Isle of Dogs is an animated film that follows the story of a little boy as he explores the dystopian island that all dogs have been exiled to in order to prevent the spread of canine flu. The film features a cast of fantastic A-list actors that bring the story to life. This search, combined with Anderson's abilities as a director, makes this picture an absolute necessity to watch. 7 Lady and the Tramp. It would appear that Disney is involved in some of the most believable dog movies that have ever been produced. After all, it appears that they have a talent for weaving incredible tales of love and romance. As a result, Lady and the Tramp came to be when the expertise in animation, in particular animal animation, was paired with what is widely regarded as one of the most moving love stories ever recorded. It is both a heartwarming and intriguing investigation into the love that exists between Lady, who is spotless and loved without condition, and the Stray, who is rough yet mysterious. Due to the fact that the vast majority of people have already watched and enjoyed this movie, it is not difficult to convince anyone to watch it. The viewer's reaction to the live-action adaptation is entirely dependent on their own unique tastes and preferences. 6 Heart of a Dog. Heart of a Dog is a documentary that was just recently released, yet it has already garnered widespread praise from both film reviewers and moviegoers alike. Some viewers may not even be aware that this film exists. This story delves into some rather difficult topics like love, loss, and most importantly, hope at its very center. This film, in contrast to many others in which canines have a major role, does not make the dog a primary focal point of the narrative. Nevertheless, as any person who owns a pet is aware, the dog continues to play an important role in the narrative regardless of which part of the story the spectator is now experiencing. It's a heartfelt journey that's unlike anything else in the canine film genre. 5 101 Dalmatians. The majority of people who enjoy watching movies about dogs have a preferred one. If the person who loves dogs also enjoys Disney movies, then the question usually comes down to choosing between Lady and the Tramp and 101 Dalmatians. Now, none of these films is much better than the other, but 101 Dalmatians is often considered to be a better film overall, both by film critics and by moviegoers in general. This is because of the funny moments that take place between the pups and the henchmen, which are accompanied with a villain that no one will ever forget, as well as a music that will be stuck in the heads of viewers for weeks. 4. Red Dog, True Blue. It's not necessary for every movie about dogs to have a terrifying antagonist like Cruella de Vil. Some of them can be nothing more than a wonderfully humorous and touching comedy about a young dog who grows up to become an Australian icon. This novella explores the events that led up to this situation, as well as the connection that Blue has with his owner. Perhaps though it is mostly a comedy, it is nearly certain that the viewer will shed tears on many occasions. These tears could be shed as a result of laughter, grief, or even just pure love. In either case, this is a movie that should not be missed, as it is held in high regard by both fans and reviewers. 3. Marley and Me. The movie Marley and Me is the one that comes to mind first for many people when they think of canine films. Any viewer who hasn't seen this amazing movie should be ready for a world filled with love, adorableness, and incredible heartbreak. Marley and Me is one of the most iconic and beautifully described love tales about a dog and his or her owner, but it is not a story for those who are easily upset. It's the kind of show that will make viewers like their canine companions and want to cuddle up with them a little bit more that night. 2. Lassie Come Home. Lassie Come Home is certainly a more delightful experience, despite the fact that some people may claim that Lassie is the best exploration of possibly one of the most famous live-action canines in the history of cinema. This is only attributable to the fact that it features the original dog and is the first narrative to present viewers with a relationship that is more loving than any they have seen on screen in recent years. The story follows a family that was forced to part with their much-loved collie, Lassie, despite their son's best efforts to prevent them from doing so. Fortunately, Lassie has other ideas in mind. Due to all of these factors and more, this movie is widely considered to be among the most iconic and well-known dog movies that have ever been produced. 1. Old Yeller. Old Yeller is a timeless classic that has stood the test of time thanks in large part to the fact that it is a Disney movie. It is possible that it is one of the dog movies that has received the highest ratings. However, this should not fool anyone into thinking that the movie is a charming experience for small children, as it contains what could be considered one of the most heartbreaking scenes in the history of film. It's like Marley and Me, but Old Yeller is so much better and so much worse at the same time. It's an experience that will crush your heart. Despite this, Old Yeller is the story of a young kid and the stray dog he takes in, both of whom develop feelings for one another almost instantly. The fact that the protagonist develops a deep affection for canines in addition to coming of age makes this movie one of the best of its kind. So that's it for today. We hope you enjoy the video. Tell us about your favorite movie in the comments section below. Also, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click the bell button to get all the latest updates.